When you think of original content, Netflix has become one of the biggest producers of original movies and shows. Releasing hundreds of titles on their platform every year, it can be difficult to wade through their massive selection. With a slew of entertainment options available at the tap of a button, it's hard to choose what to watch. Never fear though, we're here to provide you with the hottest content that was released on Netflix in 2020. Hey Flickers, welcome to our channel. In today's episode, we'll be discussing the shows that dominated the Netflix top 10s in 2020. Before we get into our video, subscribe to our channel to not miss any updates. Hit the bell icon to receive notifications when we upload more exciting videos. Let's get right into it, shall we? For much of it, the year 2020 undoubtedly held all of us indoors, and it looks like that condition may last for part of 2021 as well. One of the positive things is that streaming platforms, including Netflix, have launched a plethora of excellent movies and TV shows. Here's a rundown of the top 10 Netflix originals that came out in 2020. Number 10, To the Lake. Although this Russian web TV series originally came out in 2019, it wasn't acquired and released internationally by Netflix until 2020. To the Lake is based on Yana Wagner's Russian novel Vongozero and centers on a group of refugees attempting to evade a pandemic. The show follows Sergei, who is charged with bringing his family to a desert island in the middle of an area called Vongozero. Sergei is joined by his new girlfriend, son, aunt, neighbor's family, ex-wife, and teenage son. Compared to other series in the apocalyptic zombie category, it's very unconventional since it relies more on its ensemble cast of multiple characters and introduces a lot of suspense, especially between Sergei's new girlfriend and his ex-wife. Number 9, Alive. Alive is a South Korean movie that centers on Jun-woo, a live stream gamer, as he tries to survive during a zombie outbreak. A city is hit by a strange virus which causes it to spin out of control. Jun-woo and Yoo-bin fight to live in an isolated apartment complex from others afflicted with the virus. Internet, phone, and power have all been shut down in the complex. What makes this an intriguing watch is that for most of the movie, Jun-woo is barricaded in his parents' apartment while Yoo-bin is stuck in her apartment across the street. It also appropriately reflects some of the same emotions that all of us have probably had because of the COVID-19 pandemic: anxiety, confusion, loneliness, and alienation. Number 8, Tiger King. Tiger King is the new Netflix series that everyone was obsessing over, and everybody can agree how mad the documentaries are. Aside from the memes, Tiger King is one of the most enjoyable Netflix shows launched in 2020. It is a 7-episode documentary miniseries based on Joe Exotic, a private zoo owner with over 200 big cats. The mini-series centers on different stages in his life, such as his failed public office campaigns and his rivalry with Carole Baskin, an activist for big cat rights. It narrates the story of Joe Exotic and Carole Baskin, the former the owner of a big cat private zoo, and the latter an animal rights protester who attempted to take him down. Joe Exotic thinks he's the most successful major cat breeder in the US. He has earned a massive amount of fame for his care of the animals, but he was also under constant criticism from animal rights campaigner Carole Baskin, the big cat shelter animal charity director. Number 7, Sex Education Season 2. Even for a given moment, everybody witnessed the soul-crushing, please swallow me up earth shame of talking to their parents about the birds and the bees. It's a rite of passage. Now take the feeling and multiply it by 1,000 and you're a bit closer to the humiliation at the core of sex education. A Netflix original featuring Gillian Anderson as Jean Milburn, a sex therapist, centers around her son Otis, played by Asa Butterfield. Unlike his talky, open-minded mom, Otis is a bit backward in coming out until he and his friends finally put together their own sex therapy clinic for their classmates. Unique and quick to binge because of its fun, youthful casting, you may be waiting for some crass comedy, and you're going to get some, together with the heartfelt life lessons learned from its core children's crop. Less concerned with preaching, the series is all about opening the mind and accepting our differences, which might sound sentimental, but it's actually anything but that. Number 6, Outer Banks. Centuries of colonialism, battles, and hurricanes mean that there are hundreds of shipwrecks in the waters off the East Coast, just waiting for entrepreneur scuba divers to come across them. It's one of those ships filled with gold that's at the core of this teen drama series, which follows a group of school kids searching for a sunk treasure while also attempting to solve a mystery about a classmate's missing father. Mostly due to the ever-changing plot, Outer Banks' 10 episodes pass on a fast clip, including an entertaining battle on a fishing boat. The subtext of it all is seeking a treasure and making themselves wealthy. Aren't the core characters the thing they most disdain? Is a worthy endeavor, but for now, it's more focused on turning the light and airy archipelago into a den of thieves. Good for us. Let's only hope season 2 will finally take us to the Outer Banks. Number 5, The Midnight Gospel. In only 8 episodes, The Midnight Gospel renders one thing transparent. There's adult animation, and then there is The Midnight Gospel. The brainchild of Adventure Time producer Pendleton Ward and Duncan Trussell, comedian and presenter of the Duncan Trussell Family Hour podcast, The Midnight Gospel is an immersive middle ground between conversational talk show and philosophical cartoons to indulge in a rich mix of outlandish animated capers and vital insights on navigating one's life. Grounded in another earthly realm called the Chromatic Ribbon, the show is based around Clancy, who uses a vagina-like multidimensional device to explore worlds facing unusual dystopian challenges, and interviews the beings there for his pod spacecast The Midnight Gospel. Clancy's journey as a spacecaster materializes as audio clips from the Duncan Trussell Family Hour. Thus, some of the most thought-provoking television dialogues of 2020 can be found in The Midnight Gospel. They're just tucked into preposterous situations. However, their absurdity is still deliberate, making this one of the most fascinating and underrated shows of the year. Number 4, The Prom. A film adaptation based on the 2018 Broadway musical of the same name, The Prom follows a group of Broadway actors who fly to a remote Indiana town to rescue a gay student who has been forbidden to go to her high school prom with her partner. The film is incredibly vivid with a lot of bright colors and glitter and energetic songs. Although the plot itself seems a little disjointed, the performance and the songs were entertaining. Number 3, The Big Flower Fight. What happens when you take the Great British Bake Off and mix it with floral design? You're going to get the big flower fight, of course. This strangely rewarding television contest pits designers, florists, and landscapers against each other as they attempt to create a massive sculpture out of plants. This series is perfect for people who like to watch culinary shows like MasterChef and are also keen on the notion of competition. Number 2, Never Have I Ever. Mindy Kaling and co-creator Lang Fisher take a delicate but ultimately worthwhile juggling act away from their teen comedy Never Have I Ever. The display is an examination of the heroine Devi's sorrow while excelling as a cute and goofy teen romance with a lot of boys' drama to debate. Narrated with a heavy dose of absurdity by John McEnroe, the great tennis player, and starring the previously unknown Maitreyi Ramakrishnan, Never Have I Ever follows Devi as she seeks to change her social standing at school. Even as she beats back the residual sorrow of her father's sudden death, it's a mix of Freaks and Geeks and the Mindy Project, and season 2 can't come fast enough. Number 1, Bridgerton. Bridgerton, the first show to be released on Netflix created by Shonda Rhimes after her headline exclusive deal with the network, was set in the early 1800s known as the Regency. During the Austen Bronte period of time when the framework of the English society was rigid, the corsets were tight, and marriage was the number one priority of any woman deemed to be of age. Inspired by the novels created by Julia Quinn, the show follows the siblings of the Bridgerton family as they search for love. If you're a fan of any Shonda Rhimes' previous shows, you'll definitely want to give this one a watch. Alright folks, we've reached the end of our video. If you enjoyed it, then please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for our latest updates. Also, comment down below which shows you're interested in watching. Pro advice, watch them all.